Hey there, welcome to Plant-Based Made Easy. My name is D Malfi, and I'm so glad that you're here with me. I'm sorry that I'm a little late today. There were some technical difficulties. I actually got shocked. And it was really a scary moment, so I needed to take a few seconds to figure out how we could get all of these things plugged in without me being shocked. But I'm here and I'm alive, and I'm glad to be alive. Thank you for joining me, because today we're going to be making another amazing recipe. Today we're making zucchini crust pizza. And I'm going to show you how to make this delicious crust from scratch. This is super protein rich. It's full of veggies. It's really going to be delicious with any toppings. And today I'm going to also talk you through how to make plant-based cheese from scratch. I'm not going to show you how, but I'm going to talk you through it. And all of these recipes are available in my August 2020 cookbook. This cookbook right here. I write a new cookbook every single month, and this is my Plant-Based Made Easy cookbook for August. And I'm really excited because we're going to really feature two recipes today: the zucchini crust pizza, as well as the staple recipe for this week, which is the plant-based mozzarella. So let's get going, all right? The first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna prepare our crust ingredients. So I wanna start with chia seeds. Chia seeds are gonna be the glue or the binder that are gonna hold this entire thing together. So today I'm gonna use white chia seeds, and I have them here. You can see these are white chia seeds. They look a little different. They actually look gray more than white themselves. And traditionally in the grocery store, you can usually find black chia seeds. Those would work fine. But I did happen to get some chia seeds that are white from Melissa's Produce. So thank you so much, Melissa's, for sending those. And what you want to do is take the chia seeds, about a half a tablespoon, and you want to add it to a little cup of water with 1.5 tablespoons of filtered water. And I did this before I got on, just to kind of like show you. This is the consistency. And I'll do like the overhead side by side so you can follow along with me. Look at this. This becomes like a gel-like consistency. And I love chia seeds for this reason. They can absorb 100 times their weight in liquid. So any liquid, it can be juice, it can be water, it can be stock, it doesn't matter. And what happens is these seeds, they absorb this liquid and it becomes like a really jelly-like substance. So we're going to use this as the base. So you want to do this ahead of time. This should sit for about 5-10 minutes before you add it to the rest of the ingredients. I'm going to put my chia seeds in the refrigerator. And you also want to preheat your oven to 400 degrees. I've already done that. It's preheating now. So the next thing that I need to do is I need to prepare my flours. I'm going to use oat flour and almond flour. And I'm actually going to make oat flour from scratch. We want 1/2 cup of oat flour. So what I have here are organic rolled oats. You can see in the overhead cam. These are from Thrive Market, and I really, really love them. And I'm going to use a food processor today. I'm going to take 1/2 cup of these rolled oats, and I'm going to get them inside of my food processor with blade and all. And I'm just going to pulse until I reach the desired consistency of a flour. Great. And I'm going to go a little bit longer. Let me show you where I'm at, though, just so you can actually see. Let's do the overhead so you can follow. Do you see that it's kind of crumbly? It looks like broken up bits of rolled oats. I want to take it even farther. I really want it to kind of resemble any regular chunky flour. I'll show you. This is the consistency. All right, so I also want almond flour, and I want to try to match the consistency, which I just showed you. Almond flour, it's kind of coarse, and today I'm using the almond flour with the skins on. This is what it looks like, right? All right, and here's my oat flour. Here's what this looks like. Floury now, it's powdery, it's nice. It's coarse, but it's also on the finer side. It looks perfect. And don't worry, we're going to actually pulse this a little bit more, so it'll continue to work. So I'm going to add to this my almond flour, and I'm going to use 1/4 cup of almond flour. And I also want some other ingredients, my flavor agents. Let's add those now. I love pizza. Are any other pizza lovers on the line with me? Ah, Brian, I see you. Brian loves pizza. Brian is from Denmark. Is that right, Brian? Correct me, please. Let me know. There's so many people from all over the world on our Facebook group, and I'm loving it. All of this like global awareness for plant-based eating. So what I just added was a little bit of garlic powder. Again, these are just flavor agents. I'm now going to add a little bit of basil flakes, dried basil, like a quarter of a teaspoon. Oops, I'm showing you the wrong side. Quarter of a teaspoon of each. You know, it's not rocket science here. Just kind of throw it in, flavor it up. You want oregano or dried thyme. Today I'm going to use dried thyme. I usually use oregano, but I'm mixing things up today. And I like thyme with zucchini, so I thought this would be even better than oregano. And then a little bit of sea salt. I'll do a pinch of sea salt here, which is my coarse salt that I absolutely love. I mean, my fine salt that I absolutely love over coarse salt. I'm a convert from kosher salt. I love the sea salt. And then a little bit of pinch of red pepper flakes, which I have here. I'm just going to keep the overhead so you can kind of follow along. And then I'm going to add some of the other ingredients, but let me pulse this first, okay? Because these are our dry ingredients. Super. All right, so now I need to add the rest, okay? So you can actually do this in a bowl. You do not have to do it in a food processor, but I find that it works better. So I'm going to go for it right now. The star of the show today is zucchini, of course. So you want about 2 3/4 cup of zucchini. I have spiralized this, and I absolutely love the spiralizer. Brian, I got it right. You're from Denmark. Woohoo. Brian, do you guys have these spiralizers in Denmark? I'm sure you do, right? These are really cool little gadgets. This is from OXO, which I absolutely love. It's very easy. You place the, whatever it is, I'll use this as just the example, the piece of produce on it, and then you just spin it. And what you end up with are beautiful spiralized pieces. And I've done this ahead of time. I've also then steamed this zucchini. And I'm going to, at this point, take it, I'm going to put it inside of a dish towel that's a thin dish towel, and then I'm going to squeeze out any of the liquid. This is really important because this is going to make sure that your crust is actually going to be not soggy, but it's going to be crispy and delicious, as crispy as we can get a plant-based crust, yeah? I got the question yesterday. What were we talking about? It was, about the burger that I made. Someone reached out and said, I think I did something wrong. The burger was really moist. And I said, no, girl, you didn't do anything wrong. It's just that it's a different consistency than meat. And one of the cool things about the cookbooks that I write every month is I always include the same types of recipes over and over again. So you're always going to see a pizza recipe in the month. You're always going to see a burger recipe. And I told her, I said, this is one of the different consistencies of a plant-based burger. And it's going to be softer. And then here's some great tips for how to actually make it kind of look like and feel like consistency-wise like a meat burger. There's different kind of tricks that you can do in the kitchen to kind of get it to that state. So in this case, with plant-based pizza, we want to make sure that we're removing all the water. This is one of these great tricks. And what you end up with is just this ball of zucchini spirals. Throw that right into the food processor, and then throw this in the washing machine. And then I want to add a couple other things. I need to add, obviously, the chia seeds, which we just made. These are super jelly-like. I want to keep it like that. And I just want to show you that these seeds are super absorbed now. They're plump and delicious. I'm going to just throw them right in. Don't skip this step. Use the chia seeds. And if you don't have chia seeds, you can use flax seeds. That would be totally fine. And then a little tablespoon, like a half a tablespoon of tahini. And I'm going to use organic tahini. Half a tablespoon is not a lot. But again, this is going to add flavor and it's going to add protein. Tahini is wonderful. In just 2 tablespoons, you're going to get 8 whopping grams of protein. That's a ton. Let me make sure I have everything. We got the zucchini. We got the white chia seeds. We got the tahini, zucchini, tahini, all of it. I love it. Oat flour, almond flour, garlic powder, dried basil, oregano, sea salt, red pepper flakes. We are good. Only one more ingredient. I needed a lemon this morning. So I asked my dear husband, Danny, to go to the market and get me a lemon. What did he come back with? Limes. I don't know how that happens. Do you? I don't understand. So here we are. We're going to use limes instead. That's okay. Whatever you have citrus-wise, I guess will work. And I just want, it's going to end up being about a tablespoon or so of the lime juice or lemon juice. And just make sure you squeeze it and catch all the seeds. These limes don't have very many seeds. Perfect. And then we're going to pulse this. And it's going to be ready for our pizza pan. All right, let me just pulse this up. You're going to have to stop it halfway through, give it just a little work around that blade. just to make sure everything is mixed up. Pulse it again. Perfect. Now, this pizza is really great. It's very forgiving. You can actually make this pizza crust. You can puree it and get it all the way down to a pureed state. Or you can do what I've done, which is actually leave it on the more crunchy or coarse side. So let me show you what I mean. I'm going to clear my decks here. All right. So here's the state, the consistency that we are in. You see that it's nice and coarse. I can still see bits of zucchini, which is really what I want. Now I'm going to remove my blade. Be careful with this. I cut myself on it the other day. It's a new food processor, and I didn't really think that it was as sharp as it is, but boy, is it. All right, now I have my zucchini crust batter, if you will. Now I need my Pantastic. I need my pizza pan. This is a Pantastic cover or baking liner. I really like this. This is the brand. Actually is meant for a bunt pan, but I'm going to use it on this. I'm also going to show you that you can cut your own. These are the BPA-free, FDA-approved cut your own baking liners, which I absolutely love. Either one will work. Make sure that you're you have whatever pizza pan that you like. Make sure that you have some sort of parchment or baking liner in it so that you can remove the pizza afterwards. It'll be much easier to do so if you line it. All right, so take your crust, and I'm going to use an offset spatula. And what I'm going to do with my offset is I'm actually going to just press it down and make sure that all of this goes coast to coast, as I say. I really want to make sure that I have enough crust from side to side, coast to coast. Every single area of this pan should be covered with the crust. You can do this crust Sicilian style, which means it's just square or rectangle. We like to do things a little differently, right? Yes, I'm Sicilian. Question. Let's do a question. This comes from Carla Stewart. Hey, Carla, how you doing? Which food processor is that? We are looking for a new one. I got to say, I love this. This is new for me. This is the Ninja. And I'll go ahead and drop the link to this right inside the comment after the show today, Carla, okay? This comes from Target. That's where I found it on sale, matter of fact. And the reason I like this food processor is because it actually is quieter than most. Food processors can be very, very noisy machines, which you wouldn't think would be actually like even a thing for most home cooks. But for me, since I do a live cooking show, I need to make sure that my sound is really managed in the studio. That's why I often don't have my fan running and I'm just like sweating all over my face, because the fan actually sounds like a wind tunnel for you all. So I try to be very respectful of the noise. Yeah, it also comes with extra attachments. It comes with a blender, 2 blenders actually. I'll show you in here in a second. This is one of the blenders. This is the food processor that it comes with. And it also comes with a small blender, which I absolutely love for like single serve marinades, smoothies, things like that, salad dressings. So I really like this. It's a good one. Thank you for the question. All right, so this looks fantastic. This crust is perfect. I've gone coast to coast. I've really made it super level. This is going right into the oven now, 400 degrees. Oh man, there we go. It's still on. 400 degrees, and I'm going to let this just cook up for, I'm gonna do 12 minutes. And I'm gonna kick up this heat because I wanna make sure this goes fast for you, because I'm really wanna make sure that I'm not holding you too long. Yeah, let's do another question. All right, this comes from Brian. Hey, Brian, you're a big fan of protein, Daniela. I sure am. I love plant-based protein. How much per day do you recommend? So this is a great question. I'm going to talk to you about this as I'm getting the other ingredients on my board. One of the great rules of thumb about protein is that you actually want to calculate how much protein you need per day and try to get that every single day. One of the easiest ways to do it is to take your weight in pounds and then to multiply it by 0.36. What you end up getting is something like anywhere between, for women, 40 to 60 grams of protein per day. And for men, anywhere between 45 and 100, up to 100. I mean, it really depends on the size of the person, right? And yes, it really depends on your weight. So take your weight, divide it by 0.36, and that should give you the amount of grams, sorry, multiply. I said that, Danny, times, multiply, it's the same. Multiply your weight by 0.36 and you will get the grams of protein per day that you need to achieve. Danny, did I say it right?
Yes.
He always says yes, even if it's not. All right. So that's a really easy way to do it. And don't forget, there's lots of different cool ways to get your protein source. It's not just going to be from tempeh and tofu and seitan, although seitan is very highly processed. So I don't eat it, and I don't encourage people to eat it in abundance. Every once in a while, it's totally fine. But try to get it from natural plant sources. And those are things like seeds, like chia seed, hemp seed, flaxseed. Quinoa is a pseudo seed, even though it's considered really a grain in the States and all over the world. Brown rice, dark leafy greens, vegetables like broccoli, broccolini, broccoli rabe, Brussels sprouts, all of these cruciferous vegetables, very high in protein. So consider your sources, all right? And get them from plant-based sources if you can. So now let's talk about cheese. I told you I would. Today I'm going to just walk you through the staple recipe. I love this cookbook, and I'm loving this idea of preparing this cookbook for you each month, because within this cookbook, every single month, I'm going to give you a staple recipe, all right? And the staple recipes are things like yogurt, cheese, bread. These are plant-based staples that you want to have on hand kind of all the time. And for the cheese, it's really, really simple. I'm going to go to that page. It's wonderful to make plant-based mozzarella. Here it is. Really simple. I'll walk you through it. You want some raw whole cashews. You want to take half a cup, and then you want to actually rinse these under hot water for a few minutes. That's it. It just takes a few minutes to prepare these raw cashews. Now I'm using raw whole cashews, and that's it. You want to just take them, rinse them under hot water. I do it right under the faucet, under the hottest temperature that I can get it. Let them sit and rinse under the hot water for like 1 or 2 minutes. Meanwhile, you want to get some boiling water on the stovetop, 1.5 cups. That's it. Let that come up to a boil. And then you want to get a high-speed blender ready, and into the base of the blender, you want to add your warm soaked nuts that have actually been removed from the water. So it's now just the nuts that have been soaking in the hot water that have been removed from the water. Add the cashews to the base of the blender. You have to add the cashews first. Follow along. The next thing that you want to do is add a little bit of coconut oil. I won't tell you the ratios because it doesn't matter. You can find it in my cookbook. You want to then add a little bit of arrowroot flour. You could also use tapioca starch, or you can use cornstarch or corn flour, depending on how you say it, wherever you are in the world. Any of these starches will work. I like arrowroot the best because it's the least processed. Then you want to add a little bit of nutritional yeast. That's what's going to give it its delicious kind of cheesy-like flavor. The cashews help with that as well. And we're only talking like a couple tablespoons. And then this is the weirdest ingredient of them all, but it's very easy to find on Amazon, kappa carrageenan. And this comes from seaweed, and it is cultivated from seaweed, and it kind of acts like glue. Throw these ingredients along with a couple tablespoons of lemon juice right into your blender. And at this point, your boiling water on the stovetop should be boiling. It was just 1.5 cups. You take that boiling water, you literally pour it right over the contents of the blender before you blend it. Then you put the cover on top of the blender, you blend it up. It takes less than a minute to blend this up because remember, the cashews are soaked, they're nice and soft. All of the ingredients are pretty soft. They come together really quickly. And then you want to get a container, like a Pyrex glass container that holds 3 cups. I use this one. This actually holds 4 cups, so it's perfect. Take the contents out of the blender literally by pouring it into this container. And what you end up with is a beautiful mozzarella cheese. Now, this is obviously just half of it. I've removed half, but you let it sit in the refrigerator for 1 day. It gets nice and firm, and I have it ready to go. This is how I package it. I will show you. This is how I package it. I will take half, and I will wrap it in plastic wrap, wrapped in a paper towel. So let me show you the final product here. Now, I know we're going a little long today, so if you have to hop off, that's okay. And you can watch the rest of this at any time. It's always available on the replay. But here is the homemade mozzarella. Look at this, right? This looks fantastic. This stuff is so good. It looks like mozzarella. It tastes like mozzarella. This actually really is just like regular mozzarella. I'm telling you, you can't tell side by side. You cannot tell a difference. Danny, what do you think? Can you tell a difference between this and regular mozzarella? It even melts, you guys. It even kind of even crisps up on top of a pizza. It's wonderful stuff. So we're going to use this today. And I like to wrap it in the paper towel because this is going to give you a much firmer cheese, which is something that I really, really want. If you want just something that's less firm, like a softer cheese, you don't have to wrap it in the paper towels. And the softer cheese, not wrapped in the paper towel, is great for making mozzarella balls. I think they're called congeli. Yeah, really good stuff. So I'm just going to take some of this cheese off.
Marie backs you up.
Yes. Yes, really. It's delicious. Auntie Ree, it's so good. You're going to love this. This is my Aunt Marie. I'm named after her. That's my middle name. All right, so I'm just taking a little bit of this cheese off of my half wheel here because I'm going to get it prepared for my pizza. Obviously, I want cheese on my pizza. You can do cheeseless, though. You could do just veggies. The cool thing about this pizza is you can also add any ingredients that you want. So you can add any sauces, any amazing different types of seasonal vegetables. And I brought some really fun veggies to show you today, but let me get this cheese wrapped back up. The only thing about this cheese that's kind of different than cow's milk cheese or any of the other animal milk cheeses is that we did not harm any animals in the process. And you have to get this wrapped up and back in the refrigerator as quickly as possible. Yeah? Really important to do so. If you don't get this in the refrigerator as quickly as possible, it starts to melt just by the normal heat. And you all know how hot it is in my studio. So this is going into the refrigerator now. And I've just pulled out what I needed. Now, the other ingredients for this pizza, I told you that I had some fun things. Yeah, let's do a cheese question before I move on. Can you shred the cheese? You absolutely can. One of the easiest ways to shred this cheese is pop that cheese wheel, half the cheese wheel, into the freezer. You can actually freeze this cheese. So you can actually make the batch of this. You can have 2 half wheels. When I say half, I'm talking about, right, I've taken a full 3 cups. I've cut it in half. So each side is about 1.5 cups. You can save this. You can actually hold it and store it inside of the freezer, and it will slice better. It will shred better, all of that. Okay. So yes, you can totally shred it up just like normal. You can add other ingredients too. You can add herbs, you can add spices, you can add citrus zest, whatever you want. You can add truly anything. All right, if you guys have any questions along the way, I'm here for you. I'm your gal. But let's talk about the ingredients I'm going to use today. I have these beautiful alba mushrooms that I got from the CSA Farm Box, Farm Fresh to You. If you're not familiar with Farm Fresh to You yet or a CSA, get into it, will you? Please consider doing it. It's like having a farmer's market delivered to your door once a week. You can change the frequency and you can change the size and the quantity of the box itself. I absolutely love it. I opt in for a special customized box. So I actually handpick all of my items just like I would at the farmer's market. And these are gorgeous. Take a look at these mushrooms. I want to show you the sides too. These are so fresh and so delicious. You can see the little tiny mushrooms that are growing on the sides as well. I absolutely love their fresh mushrooms. So for today's pizza, I'm going to add some of these and I'm just going to pull these off. Now, some of you are probably thinking, uh-oh, she's not washing this. She's just pulling them off. She's just going to put them right on the pizza. I am. And here's how I'm going to clean these up. All right. I'm just going to take what I need and then the rest of it's going to go right back into, I like to keep them in a wooden cup or a paper bag. And that's how they stay really nice. Sometimes I do a wooden cup and a paper bag. They will stay super great that way. But these alba mushrooms, they look rather clean, but let's say that your mushrooms don't look so clean. Maybe there's some dirt on them, whatever there is. Take a clean kitchen towel and literally what you want to do to clean mushrooms is to wipe them. That's actually the best way to go about doing that. All right. You don't want to rinse these in water. If you rinse these mushrooms in water, you're going to end up getting waterlogged mushrooms. It's going to take away from the flavor. It's also going to take away from the chew or the consistency. So we don't want that. The base here is still intact. That has a little soil. So I'm going to remove that altogether. I'm just slicing this up. Do a full screen here so you can really see. I'm literally slicing the tip off. And this can go right back into the compost, right back into the earth. I do compost. Danny and I started composting at the beginning of COVID, and we love it. We've just now created our first big batch of compost. And then I'm going to take these mushrooms and I'm just going to kind of dice the ends. And then I'll leave these beautiful pieces, the tops, just as they are. All right, I'll put these aside. I'm going to use a little Kalamata olives because this is my favorite combo of pizza and mushroom and olive. Danny doesn't like the olives though, so we'll just do half and half. I'll do some of these. Kalamatas are really, really great. They're briny. They're salty. Do you like Kalamatas? What's your favorite olive? This could be great.
Should I try it?
Do you want to try it, Danny? Danny's just like, you're funny. He said to me before we got going, he was like, do not put olives on my pizza.
Oh my God.
Get out.
Get
out of here. Get out of here. I don't understand. We go through this every day. Olives are like my favorite food. I once read that Martha Stewart eats 3 tablespoons of olives every day because her cardiologist told her that they're good for the body, especially heart health. And And I read that when I was like a teenager, and I will never forget that. And so I love olives because I was bred to eat them. We used to cultivate olives in my garage. My nanu would actually have jars of olives on the windowsill of all different kinds. It was like really, really super Italian. All right. So I have my calamatas. These are actually Greek as opposed to Italian, but you can use anything you want. Castle Voltrano olives are the green ones. Those would be fantastic with these alba mushrooms as well. And then fresh herbs. This is really going to elevate the dish. Remember, we have zucchini as our base. So I'm going to use a little bit of this beautiful Italian oregano and beautiful thyme. And this is going to match the crust really nicely. All right. I think our crust is 15 seconds to go. Anyone have any questions while we wait? What do I want to tell you? I brought so many great things to show you because today I thought, oh yeah, I gotta just fill it up. I want to show you this. This is a cool product that I got. I love to show you these cool products. This is from Thrive Market. This is a spirulina paleo pizza crust. This stuff is fantastic. All right, this stuff is so good. I absolutely love it. Comes with 2 crusts. Look, they're green. These are great. These are great for not only making regular pizza pie, like the savory kind with cheese and other ingredients, but you can also make sweet pizza with these. The reason I like these is because they are made and filled with spirulina. Spirulina is a really wonderful green algae powder. It is wonderful for all parts of our body, especially boosting our immune system. And I put spirulina in my smoothies and things like that. I hope that you're considering using spirulina in your dishes as well. And then anything that has spirulina in the title, like spirulina crackers, pasta, muffins, scones, cakes. I love it. I absolutely love it. Maybe it's because I'm part Hawaiian. Just kidding. I'm not part Hawaiian. I wish I was. Okay, I'm going to get my pizza crust out of the oven. Ah, this looks so good. Come on, little crust. This is an interesting. The pizza pan is so full, I can't even grab it. There we go. All right, let's take a look at this. My crust is beautiful. I'm going to do a full screen just so you can really see it. You can see now it's kind of crispy. It's really kind of dry. This is what we want. I'm not going to do this, but you absolutely can and should. If you want, you could literally very carefully flip this, remove, literally peel off that baking liner, cook it on the other side for the next 5 minutes or so. And that's going to help make this even better. But for the interest of time, I'm going to stop at this point and I'm going to fill us our pizza just so we can get to it. All right. I'm going to add a little bit of, this is kale pesto, right? This is cashew kale pesto. This is a store-bought ingredient from Trader Joe's, but you can actually use anything you want. Tomato sauce. You can use zug, which is Yemenite, kind of Yemenite pesto with cumin and chilies and coriander. That would be fantastic. That would be spicy and yummy. You could use red pepper spread. Literally, red peppers blended in a blender, and all of a sudden you have a spreadable red pepper spread, and it kind of acts like a sauce. It's really no different than tomato sauce, although it just uses red peppers as opposed to tomatoes. That would be fantastic. Anything that you want, but I like the pesto for sure. I'm also going to now add my cheese. You guys have seen me make a pizza before, so you know how if you've not seen me make one, you're in for a treat here. But you know that this is going to be jam full of ingredients that I love. I'm also going to add my olives. Danny, do you want me to do half on the side? Okay, I'll just do olives on my side. Olives on my side. And then try not to go too crazy with the ingredients. If you overpile it, like if it's like really mound full of ingredients, you're going to end up with the cheese isn't going to melt like you want it. I'll just do like olives on one side and mushrooms on the other. How fun is that? All right, perfect. These look so cute. I love you mushrooms. I just love these mushrooms. They're like magical. They make me so happy. All right, I'm also going to add a little bit of red pepper flakes. I don't want the bottom of my pan to be dirty. A little bit of red pepper flakes. Why not? It's going to add flavor. It's also going to add dimension too. It's going to add heat and kind of like, it's going to make this more complex. And then how about those herbs? I'm going to add them now. Take this beautiful oregano. This is right from the garden. Remove it. And then just let those leaves fall. We're right where they may fall. Don't even like worry about it. Just removing that big stem. You can add the oregano after. You can add the thyme after as well, like after it cooks, whatever you want. But I kind of like for when it bakes in. It's nice. All right, this is going to have to go into the oven, and then we'll sit and we'll chat even longer. If you guys have questions, get your questions ready. Get your questions ready. Come on, fire them out. You're being awfully quiet today. I want to hear from you. How's it going? It's Wellness Wednesday after all. How are you feeling about that? Put your pizza in. Let this go. I have it on. I'm just going to hopefully let it go for a few minutes here. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this on a broil setting. I'm really going to just let it happen. All right. Cool. So the pizza's in. I'm just really wanting to kind of like cook up the mushrooms just a little bit. So they're kind of soft. They're a little bit chewy. They're going to be really, really great. I want to make sure that the cheese melts. So that's my top priority. The olives doesn't matter. The olives just going to be warmed up. What else do I want to share with you? Oh, that's it. Danny wanted to remind you. We put a little questionnaire in our Facebook group, Plant-Based Made Easy. If you haven't joined yet, please join. We are almost 900 people, you guys, and we just started a few weeks ago. We exceeded 900. Woohoo! We got to celebrate that. We are so close to 1,000. I cannot believe how fast it's been growing. So fun. This community is amazing. We have people from Denmark, from Abu Dhabi, from Mexico, we have English people living in Spain. We have Spaniards living in Canada. We have Canadians. We have people from Texas. We have people from California, Washington, New York, Boston, everywhere. We did a little poll, and on the poll, we asked, where is it that you're getting most of your plant-based groceries from? And right now, it seems like there is a neck and neck divide between Whole Foods and Trader Joe's. So I want to know on this thread, if you haven't done this already, are you a Whole Foods shopper, or are you a Trader Joe's shopper, or are you none of the above? Curious to know. For me, for sure, not Whole Foods, not Whole Foods. For sure, I'm a Trader Joe's shopper because I love getting food for lower cost. Everything at Trader Joe's is like 30% less expensive than at any other retailer. I love that. And I love that they kind of like wipe out the middle person. There's no branding there. Everything is kind of white labeled to be Trader Joe's. We all know that it's coming from other manufacturers and other brands, but their brands are covered up and it's all Trader Joe's. And it just makes for a more streamlined shopping experience, right? Like you go in, there's like one mayo, there's like one relish. There's not like 500 mayos. I don't like that at all. But if you might like that, and if you do, then maybe Whole Foods is more your jam. We had someone on the line say, though, that her grocery store wasn't listed, and she said that she shops at her local grocery store, which has handmade pasta and sauces and plant-based sandwiches and all these amazing rices and legumes and different beans and things like that and produce from all over the world. It was like amazing. And I'm just imagining myself literally like wanting to do a grocery run with her. So tell us where you like to shop. I'm really curious about this. It's been really fun to kind of hear from you guys. It's also been really fun. One of the questions that I'm asking is, what is it like in the plant-based space in your area where you live, in your neighborhood or your community, or even the country that you live in? It's so interesting because here in California, especially in Southern California where I live, plant-based is rather easy to kind of like come by. It's very easy to feel like you can, you can be well acclimated on a plant-based diet here. You can find plant-based ingredients kind of really anywhere, even at grocery stores that don't tend to have as many health food options. Like those are the Ralphs and the Vons and the Albertsons, but they even have like plant-based options now. They even have little like stickers on the shelf that say little green sticker, plant-based. And so it like helps people to know what is plant-based option versus not. So it's really cool.
Impossible Foods is doing like a free giveaway.
Oh, and really? Impossible Foods is also big here in Southern California. Have you guys tried this Impossible meat? Have you tried the Beyond Meat? That was another thing that we asked the Facebook group. What is your favorite plant-based protein? And we had a lot of different answers come up. I was so surprised that only one person mentioned Impossible Meat. And I asked her, I said, what's your favorite? Is it Impossible or is it Beyond Meat? And can you tell a difference? And boy, did she have an opinion. She said, no, she can really taste the difference. She really believes that Impossible has like a better flavor than the Beyond Meat. I would tend to agree with that, but I don't like the fake meats. They're not for me. It kind of freaks me out. Like I didn't love the experience of ever eating a steak or a burger or a sausage because I kept thinking about the animal. And now when we have that fake sausage or the fake burger, I'm like, I'd rather have a chickpea burger. That's just my personal opinion. I'm definitely and certainly not trying to throw my opinion on you, but just interesting to talk about these things and kind of like communicate about like how are you feeling about it? Like, anyone on here love the Impossible? Anyone on here love the Beyond Meat? Or is anyone more like me that really kind of prefers the vegetable or the plant-based versions of these foods? Like nuggets, for instance. I just don't want anything that tastes like a chicken nugget. I'd rather have like a cauliflower nugget. I just would. I'd rather have a tofu nugget. That's just me. That's totally just me. All right, we have another, look, Marie Montoya says Impossible Burger. Yes. Awesome. She also says that Whole Foods and Trader Joe's, Sprouts, and Mother's Market and Pavilions, all of these are her favorites. All right, that's a good lineup there. And it's interesting because you kind of have to go to different stores sometimes for different ingredients, especially in the plant-based world. We have another question here. I don't know if I can answer this. Martha, what's the name of the good playing yogurt? Whole Foods has about 100 different ones, and I don't know which one to buy. I just started a vegan food plan, so I'm lost. Help. All right, yogurt. Let's talk about it really fast. I recommend making it yourself if you want a good recipe. It's in my August cookbook. I have a wonderful coconut yogurt that's fantastic. I think you mean a Go Play yogurt, I think. I'm not really sure. Oh, plain yogurt. The name of a really great plain yogurt in market, if you really want one, is going to be Coco Yo. All right. Coco Yo is my absolute favorite. It comes in these jars. Actually, this is a Coco Yo jar. It comes in these jars. It looks just like this. And it's wonderful. It's coconut yogurt, but it doesn't really taste coconutty. It's very, very plain. They have a flavored version as well. I think a couple different fruit options if you want a flavored version, but their plain yogurt is phenomenal. I recommend it. The only thing about plant-based yogurt in market is it's darn expensive. So one of those jars usually costs $6, and that's only going to give you about 1.5 cups. For me, that's very expensive. And I hope to always have this mindset, like no matter how much money I make in life, I really always would prefer to have the homemade versions of these things and get really good at making the homemade, staples in my home so that I can A, know what's in my ingredients, B, they have a longer shelf life because they're natural ingredients. You can really control the temperature and the additives. And they're just plain more delicious, I feel like, because you can really kind of put in them what you want. You can use any coconut yogurt. You can use any plant-based milk yogurt, anything like that. So I hope that answers your question. The other one that is really good is the Kite Hill yogurt, which is really yummy. Again, these are companies that also both make cheese and yogurt. Kite Hill's wonderful, but also super duper expensive. Okay, this pizza's looking good. I think it's almost ready. Nearly there. Can I just bump this heat up? Can we do like a 4? I can't. 450 is the highest we could go. Almost there. Not quite there though. I think I'm just going to show,
Next week we're going to go.
Oh my gosh, let's talk about next week. This is the perfect time. I just can't believe that there's still 86 people here. I appreciate you all. Next week, you guys, we are going full into our first fall cookbook. I'm so excited. I'm really into writing these cookbooks every single month. This has been a super fun experience. I've loved the experience because what I've done for you is I've created a menu. It's really a matrix of recipes, and I'm following this rhythm and flow of recipes, both the category and the type. So within this cookbook, you guys, you're going to get breakfast, lunch, dinner, sweets, snacks, and staples. And those are all the categories of recipes. And I like to color coordinate the categories. So you know that every single time there's a breakfast offering, it's going to be red. It's going to be highlighted in red. Every time a lunch offering comes up, it'll be a different color, and so forth, and all of that. So I really just want to emphasize that you're going to get a lot with this. All 6 categories are coming to you: breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, sweets, and staples. And next week, we're going to actually be debuting and starting to really talk about our September cookbook. This is the first of the fall cookbooks. And just so you know, because I'm writing these cookbooks once a month, you're always going to get a seasonal variation. So every single month, you're getting a new cookbook, and every single month, you're going to get, one of the seasons. So we're going to spend 3 months on the fall season, 3 months on the winter season, 3 months on the spring, and 3 months on the summer. And I'm really going to really emphasize us eating the rainbow, but also eating produce that's in season. So we're going to follow the season and the structures of the sun and the soil, and we're going to follow it. We're going to rhythmically follow it. And that is really the best. I've done a lot of research in this because I'm not just a chef. I'm also an integrative nutrition health coach. And in my training as a health coach in the world of integrative health and integrative nutrition, we really were taught to emphasize and help people to understand eating with the seasons is key for optimal health. Why? Well, it's because it's the way that we were actually evolved to eat. So our ancestors ate this way for many years, and we are really the first of many hundreds of thousands of generations that stopped eating with the seasons. And so we want to really revert back to this. We want to come back to being with the seasons. That is the cycle of the soil and the cycle of the sun. So in September, I'm playing with the amazing abundance of these wonderful ingredients that are really kind of at the tail end of summer and the very beginning of fall. So things like tomatoes are still in season here. Squashes. I'm doing these beautiful sea salt and vinegar summer squash chips. I'm so excited for our chip day. I've created an amazing lineup of wonderful recipes that contain a bunch of herbs, because that's really kind of the end of the summer and into the fall. I'm starting to look at some of these delicious stone fruits. So peaches and plums, pears, all of this. Very, very excited to showcase these with you. I'm also talking a lot about the use of nuts in the next cookbook. So we're talking a lot about peanut butter, nut butter, how to make oats with chocolate with peanut butter swirl, and using wonderful ingredients to kind of like layer on fall flavors. So using delicious sweet and sour combos, sweet and savory combos. It's going to be really, really fun. I'm very excited to showcase this with you. I'm very excited for you to have it too. Thank you for everyone who bought the cookbook this month. It's been wonderful. It's been wonderful to hear that your feedback. If you have feedback along the way too, let's say you make this pizza from today, and let's say you change it up a bit, like you changed up the recipes of either the crust or the ingredients on top. Let a sister know. Please let me know. I'd love to hear like what worked, what you liked, what you didn't like. If you need help along the way, reach out. I'm really, really, really trying to stay on top of all of my emails and direct messages from you all. If you have cooking questions along the way, I am your gal. I want to help you. I really want to serve you well. I truly do. It's my pleasure. And I'm doing this because I want you guys to have the information. I want to teach you how to fish, so to speak, but not fish for literal fish. Let's keep those in the water. I want you to fish for your food. I want you to feel like you really feel confident and competent in the kitchen, for sure. That's like what that's what I'm all about. I feel like that's why I'm here on this planet Earth, is to help you feel good in your kitchen. All right, this pizza has got to be done. We're going to make it done because it is now 45 minutes. You've all stayed with me, and I want you to see this final product. I would let this go just a little bit longer, but that's okay. Let's try to get it out of the oven. Oh my gosh. Lost a little bit. Will you take a minute to give this pizza a little gratitude? Yum! Yum, 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 yum. This looks amazing. Obviously, you can see this cheese is nice and melty. The Alba mushrooms look fantastic. Those Kalamata olives look perfectly warm and ready for Daniela's belly. This looks unbelievable. I absolutely love it. It's going to be really hard to cut into this right now, so I don't think that I'm going to be able to. For now, I'm just going to place it right there. I want you to salivate with me. This looks so darn delicious. Yum. I want you to have this recipe. I want you to make this recipe. I want it to be delicious for you and your family. I'm telling you that if you actually made this for your family and didn't tell anybody that this was plant-based, they probably would not A, care, or B, even tell. They probably wouldn't even know. So try this. Try this for your loved ones. Tell them after. Tell them right after they've taken their first bite. Did you know this is dairyless? Did you know this is actually plant-based? I think people, when they know that the food is really good before they eat it, before they actually know that it's vegan or plant-based or vegetarian, they get really excited because they're like, oh, this is amazing. How could this healthy food be so darn delicious? It can. I hope that you like this recipe. I really hope that you try it. Please consider trying it if you have all the ingredients. If you have any questions along the way, I'm here to help. Thank you all so much for being here today. I appreciate you. Thanks for allowing me to come in a little late because I got shocked. I hope that never happens again. I want you guys to have a wonderful rest of your afternoon, your evening, your morning, wherever you are in the world watching and whatever time you're watching at. Thank you. I appreciate you. I'll see you tomorrow when we are going to come back into the kitchen for another wonderful, we're talking snacks tomorrow. I'm making spicy white bean dip. It's going to be delicious. I'll see you there. Ciao for now. Bye, guys.